Greetings everybody. I don't know how this is gonna go. Not even 100% certain why I'm doing this, but we're gonna do this. Okay, hold on a second. I gotta turn all this down. Okay, good. So what we are doing, ladies and gentlemen, is we are trying to see whether or not this game is really worth it. Just to give you a bit of background on it, Earth from Another Sun is a mishmash of a lot of games. Let's see, let me pop in to a new game. Yes. It's got great concept art and everything, and the whole concept, as you can kind of see from all of the soldiers and stuff down there, is it's a space game, right? But it's supposed to be essentially Mount and Blade Warband in space. Okay. I kind of discovered this game on a Facebook ad, and it was one of those where they were like, oh, if you enjoy Mount and Blade as well as Borderlands, then you'll enjoy Earth from Another Sun. And then there was like this first person shooter style video of a whole bunch of stuff getting blasted and loot dropping all over the place and but this is apparently an alpha, so it was a closed alpha, and I think I bought this like earlier this year, and a lot of the Conquest mode that Mount and Blade is known for was not available yet. So the only part of it that I could test was the first person shooter port of it, and honestly it didn't play very well. It played a bit like, I don't know, something that if you jumped into Unreal or, you know, one of those game engines that had a whole bunch of assets or something like that and just said, hey, first person shooter template, throw the assets in there, shoot. And that's kind of how it felt at the time. But, you know, after the $60 was spent, there was a promise that they were going to continue to add content and everything. So, hey, here we are. We're at a point now where the what is it called? Well, we're just going to keep it there. Affection name is that. Where the Conquest mode was going to be available. There's multiplayer apparently available. There is a roguelite apparently available, where I guess you basically do the same thing as what you do in Mount and Blade Warband, except you just kind of explore, build your army, and dominate, right? And I think that's kind of the premise, where in multiplayer you're able to get on a server and do the same thing, apparently. I guess. I'm not 100% certain. It's not all working quite yet, and I don't even want to touch the roguelike. I don't want to touch the multiplayer. My entire interest is Conquest mode, because Mount and Blade Warband as well as Bannerlord are two of my most favorite, like, open sandbox battlefield general simulator type style RPG games or whatever, right? They allow you to participate in the battle, but you actually have to use tactics in order to build your army, keep your army fed, maintained, paid for, and then of course build your empire. So that's what we're trying to do here. Now, apparently the first time I played this game, it kind of was on the light-hearted end of things. You know, it was kind of, I guess you could say, Borderlands style writing or whatever, which I assume is still here. Yes. So, you know, as you'll kind of see as I go through the discussion, it's got a weird tone. The tone is definitely very lighthearted. So honestly, when I first tried this Conquest mode, maybe about a month or so ago, Me personally, I wasn't feeling it. You know, if you're gonna do, you know, I mean, it's fine, you know, but when you're doing something that is like Mount and Blade, where you're trying to take over a whole bunch of stuff and destroy a whole bunch of people and, you know, build your empire or whatever, a part of me is like, I kind of want to do this in a kind of serious way. I mean, there's plenty of lore to do so, you know, I don't know if my game wants to run this at this speed. Frame rate is very low, but okay. Oh, whatever that is, whoa. I don't know what that thing is. What is that thing? That's gross. That's gross. Okay, hold on a sec. We're gonna go to settings. We're going to say, hey, general quality is going to go mid. Okay, okay. That's a little bit better, right? So, this is the hub. This is where you begin and end every mission. Your ship, I think all of the ships in this game look the same that you get or that you start off with. There's not a whole lot of explanation as to why or what or whatever, but hey, it's what you get. Not everything in here is able to be interacted with, but most of it is. This is the feedback. This is where you fly the ship out on the larger map. This is another survey. Okay. What is the racing flag for? That's new. What is that for? Map of nothingness. This is... Oh, I guess this basically tells you your fuel level as well as your radar range, food amount, as well as fuel amount. It shows how fast you're going, that's your money, and that's how powerful you are, right? Oh, no, this tells you how you can progress or go on the map, I guess, right? So there's a lot of stuff, not a whole lot of explanation as to what all this is. I don't think this is interactive, whatever you want to call it. Okay, here it is. The rest of this. Okay. This shows you everything you have in your inventory, the amount of troops you have, the amount of loot you have, the many weapons you have. Right now I don't have anything except for a pistol. Sure. Armory. This shows your character, which you can't customize quite yet. I'm sure they'll add that. Melee weapon, armor, modifications, skills, blah, 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 blah. So, you know, there's a lot the game has that I guess they're still building. This is new, I think. This is show the ship. Fleet information. This is my ship. So this is interesting. This provides all the information you need about what you're actually flying. You know, that's important because you need to know the strength of what you have as well as what you're going to face, correct? This is still an armory. This is, I guess, the pod that you use when you're out. This is another pod that it doesn't give you info on. Alright, there's some more. Has 0 power. Okay, I don't know. I guess this is Bob, right? But my problem is I can't see any information is. So it'll be interesting to see how that works out. Is this supposed to be a of course. Alright. We're gonna go. I don't know what this is. What is this? Hey, big thing. Alright. We are going towards this icon. You can see the fuel going down. We're zooming out. Alright. This is a little bit different than when I played last. It shows you the icon. As you can see, a larger map. And we're at the thing. So we want to dock. Hey, the deuce. We got goods. Turn in mission. I thought you were dead. Oh, here. Let's see what tasks you have. We've got space monkeys. And of course, my kids are in the background. I hope you guys can't hear them, but if you can, that's my fault. I'll turn it down a little bit. Small army, don't mess it up. Okay, get the army. Time is money, money's everything. I reckon you can have a go. War, even more so, enough talk, be on your way. Gas, prosperity, build a troop. We got soldiers, we need a second ship. Barracks. Hello. Some more soldiers. Got 12,000 rub-dubs. Commandos. Troops. We don't have enough money. Yikes. Alright, we got plenty of dudes. Oh, we need a second ship. 5 ships. Can we do that? We bought too many soldiers. Alright, we're back in the ship. We leave. Space stuff. They have a much higher power level than we do. Let's go to this rift and see if we can shoot something. Just to give you an idea. Scouts report the environment is unstable. Anticipation. We want to land. How do you land in a rift? Not sure how that works, but that's what we gonna do. So yeah, in Mount and Blade, stuff like this is basically what you start off doing. You do small little missions for various towns and people until you get a large enough army to be able to do something. So in this, I think you pretty much just have to do little missions and buy stuff and get money so that you can... hold on a second. What the frack? Yeah, I'm sure we got this. This is like weekend music. You know, it's like the way a lot of this is, you know, it feels like a low class version of Doom. And I know I did put the quality down a bit, so I can't really talk too much about how it looks. Space monkey! Space monkey! Space monkey! Can I pick that up? Rubber duck potion. I feel like I'm walking, but... Blah. Peace out, space monkey. Got space boats. Okay, things dead. So, okay, fill the bar. It's supposed to be filling the bar. This is bloop, bloop. Ooh. My computer didn't like that, whatever that was. Whoa, jump. Kablooey Station. Alright, whatever this is, it's some good. And we're out of here. What is this? Oh, that's the portal. Wait. Teleport. Out. Leave. Yeah. Thank you. Go. Chill grenade. Uncommon energy shock. You know what? We'll get the thing that heals us instead. Get rid of that. Put it back. It won't let me. I freaking hate you. Whatever. Okay, so yeah, it's a little bit janky, as you can kind of see. That's kind of how all the combat is in this. I'll show you guys like a large battle, quote unquote large battle, so you can kind of see it. Now, the thing with me in the large battles in this game, yes, I triumphed. I get space junk. Close. That's just freaking hilarious looking. Okay. So we're gonna fly back to space station. Is that the one? It doesn't matter. They all end up about the same anyways. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna do the first few missions so you can see what the let's dock. Let's go to the hotel. The barracks. No. Trade. To sell this junk. This junk. There you go. Set this. Okay, 3,000 bits. That's going to give us enough to... Passions. No. Cheap ships. Cheap ships. Cheap ships. This is what I'm talking about. Pirates, I guess. Kind of like which and we're going to equip some things. If I can find, oh yes, here it is. Alright, we'll put that on. Grenade launcher. 2 energy shock. Go. And I'm sure that's just my daughter dancing upstairs. Bloop. So we want run, jump, control, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I'd actually like to be able to go into my inventory before that, but whatever. So now that we have that, we leave. Sure. Alright. We need space pirates. We're gonna go and get this capsule worth of junk. They're much more powerful than we are. Go. Alright. Hatchery. I don't know. We need space pirates. Where are our space pirates? Can I see space pirates? Yikes. The map looks a lot better than it used to. Space station. Oh. We are going to fight said space pirates. I didn't even know I ran into them. Whatever. See, the concept art looks fantastic, but it's not quite the way it looks when you're doing it. So, okay. Lag. My computer's not great at running this. Alright. Whoa. Alright.
Freedom!
Alright, so our guys are going to attack. If you see right up there, that's where their ships are. If you see right there, that's where my ships are. I have no idea how to tell them to move or do anything or whatever. Turn this way. This is a first-person shooter, and these guys are just like bonkers, right? So that's what they're doing. Hold up. see. So all the troops are gone. I have no idea what happened to their ship, whatever is up with the ship. We freed some more troops. Hey, some more of those. Here, take some more of those. They must have defected from whatever the thing was. That one was kind of quick, but you know, that's kind of how those go. And I had to lower the quality because, you know, the frame rate would just go bonkers. So I'm hoping they're able to optimize this even more. Hey, Barbara, weren't you already on the ship? Thank you. They were going to blah, 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 blah. So she's on our ship now, even though I think it said what she already was. And that was some dude that I wasn't supposed to kill, and now we're in trouble because we killed him, but we saved her. Drop her off. And I think she ends up staying with us, but yeah, whatever. So, you're all wandering pirates. You know, let's take out these wandering pirates since they're nearby. Yes, wandering pirates. We want to fight them. So maybe this battle will be a little bit longer. I don't know. We'll see how this one goes too. But you know, this is kind of the process that you do in Mount and Blade also. You just
Fight!
Just fighting. Until you get enough money. Yeah. Oop, sorry, did I kill you guys? My fault. Crap out of that dude. Weird laugh at the end of it. More soldiers, more nurses, more. Strange music, but I guess it goes. You know what I mean? So, you know, it kind of feels like it's a patchwork of assets, and I'm not sure what, if any, lore is really accompanied to this, because I'm not sure if you really care. You just kind of want the game to, you know, work. Nearby station. There we go. We're going to this nearby station. Hey, whoever that person is. Yes, we're at the space station. We need to look. We go to the shop, because apparently that's where all of our missions start. So turn in the mission. Yep. We went looking for pirates, ran into harassing. Oh, we shot the limb off of a fallen emperor's son. Yes, that's what it was. He was raping, killing them, and eating them. Very strange. That's a weird looking seat that he's sitting on as well. That's just ridiculous. Give me hope. She didn't hurt me. You saved me. I was a geisha. She doesn't sell her body. Yeah. Really? Alright. That allows us to do 2 grenades. Right now, I'm not sure why I'm heal. I should have someplace where I can get is basically that first mission that I took on. Get another one of these. Okay, storage capacity. That's what that is. Can't afford that. Oh, yes, we can. We've got more ships. Got more soldiers. I don't have enough Starbucks. Yeah, we didn't want all that. Yeah, that'll be fine. Chop. Common weapon. Potions. Why not? So let's go back. Can't go that way. Let's go to the armory. Equip. Tells us what we're doing. Protects us more. See, what I feel they need to do to make this somewhat bearable is you need more autonomy of your troops and how they. Oh my God! What did I just do? Oh no! I'm stuck outside my ship. Ooh, okay. Yeah, I'm back in the ship. What interaction? Get out. Saving. Oh yeah, this interaction. a rift out there. So what you're going to see when I go in this rift is this, what's in the rift looks exactly the same as that first battle. It's not like there's that many maps. I'm sure when it gets released or whatever, they'll have more. But to me, it's kind of annoying. It's like, oh, you know, I mean, well, what more can you ask for? This is pretty expansive of a game in terms of what it's trying to do and what they're trying to put into it. Part of me just feels like, there's gonna be jank. I understand that. Mount and Blade Warband had the most jank of any role-playing game I've played in quite some time. But because of all the freedom and all the things you were able to do in it, you know, it kind of made up for it. You know, you were able to do the fights. You were able, you know, fights weren't necessarily that great, but on a basic level, it ticked all the boxes. I don't know if this ticks all the boxes. We'll bring all the troops, we'll be fine. Yeah, we'll just bring everybody. I don't care. Bring everybody. We'll kill them all. You know, it's not going to show everybody on there anyway, so we're going to see. But I'm going to end this in a little bit after this match or whatever. I'm going to end it. I might stream some more of this, but right now, the way this is set up, I don't 100% know. Do that. Launcher just wipes them out. That must be the victory music. That's its spitter. Give it to me. Bow. Give it to me. Chest. Hey, Darbuds. Two. So like all this other stuff, like look at this environment. What is that? What is that? What? This looks exactly the same. It's got a big old monster looking thing in the background that I seriously without looking at it. It's just there. I don't know what that is or why that is, but this is a rift. The environment isn't really interactable. That looks like something out of the Mist movie or whatever. It's gross. You know, it looks exactly the same as what we just got at the first time. So, you know, see what I mean? It's like there's a whole lot of assets in here, but I'm not 100% certain any of it makes sense. You know, what is that? Why is that there? Is somebody here before us other than the people we just slaughtered? Why were they here? Why do I have to kill them? Why can't I get out of here? Yeesh. Stun grenades. Yes, I'll take those. Energy shock. I should have used it. I did not. So we're going to go back. We're going to turn this in. We're going to see what they say, and then I'll probably end the stream. But as you can see, this is it's kind of an odd game. It has promise in terms of what they have, what they're trying to do with it. Hey, the things we do for money. Hello, second consciousness. Only interested in domination. Money is a tool. Money is powerful. Christian revolve. Eater, some of all blessings. Ticket to a nice retirement. Systems unstable. And two minds. Dissing. Dissing yourself. Dissing each other. Whatever. It's there. More space junk. Station. Trade levels and all that other information I'm sure will be interesting. Once they develop all this stuff, you can see all the stations look the same look and do. You don't have to go to the same one. You can just go to any of them because they all look the same. Something similar. Emperor's fleets. Alright. Barracks. More people. I say no, we got plenty. Okay. There we go. So, yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is Earth from Beyond the Sun, or Earth from Another Sun, or whatever it's called. I'm gonna write a review or impressions on this, and from my understanding, this game is supposed to be done next year. They're supposed to have updates every couple of weeks, I think, and they've made quite a bit of progress, but I still feel like the first person shooter portion of it feels janky. It feels kind of pieced together, asset-y. I don't know. It feels like it needs lore. It feels like it needs to have a different tone to me. And I don't know. It runs kind of weird. There's promise here because the Mount and Blade portion of it I'm sure they're going to work on, but that's the part that's interesting to me. You know, I think they need to work on being able to incorporate tactics into that, incorporate the ships into it more so that you can control the ships. Me personally, I would tell them to take a look at Star Sector, see how they have the ship control so that you can have space battles that aren't as intense or involved as doing the first person shooter portion of the game. I don't know, something. Because the first person shooter part of the game, it's not Borderlands. There is no exploration. The loot, you know, shoot 10 people, then boss. Shoot 10 people, then boss. And so far, that's all you have when you have the rifts. I don't know. You know, the battles, from my understanding, the battles whenever you fight other ships, it's like you land on some random asteroid and you start fighting. And it's all the same area, the same, you know, place or whatever. So I don't know. There's something to be said about what they've done. There's a lot here. It just feels like it needs more variety. It needs more. My thought is they probably have more of what I'm looking for in the roguelite, I'm guessing. But right here, the core of this, the Mount and Blade portion of it, is there. It's just, I don't know. It's missing. There's just stuff missing to me. What that is, I may have to put a few more hours into it or whatever, in which I'm going to have to do when I write my impressions. But yeah, you know, so again, this is Earth from Another Sun. It's your boy Bunny 3000, and thanks for checking it out with me. I'll check y'all out next time. Peace.